This one's got to be one of the most beautiful maps that I think we currently have in the map pool. Welcome back to the Brightworks, everybody, and today we are taking a look at none other than Ascendancy. I love this map. It is so gorgeous. Just the layout from the low ground to the high ground with that beautiful skybox in the background, the planet cresting and the ridge with those mountains looming over the central defining feature of this map, which is the tremendous high ground up in the northern lane. Really, really love this one for its beautiful aesthetic, but also because it brings out some excellent games. Today, we're going to be taking a look at an 8 versus 8 on this map. Looks like we have a wide spectrum of experience as far as the players are concerned, ranging all the way from 1 Chevron and 1 open skill, all the way up to 25. Representing our Eastern team is going to be our blue team leader. It'll be Marty Hat, and he is going to be playing on this this northern section, the northern straight. It is a straight lane from this all the way up the mountain to this geothermal plant and down into the red team's base. Typically, these games are decided by whoever can win this match. Now, mirrored directly opposed to the blue team leader dressed up in Armada colors, we have Matthias JJK. Also, the wonderful person who submitted this replay. Thank you very much. I'm happy to take a look at Ascendancy basically all the time. We never get to see this map, not nearly as much as we should anyways, so I'm really thrilled that you decided to send it in. Starting off with that Cortex dressed up in red, looking phenomenal. Something about Cortex in red just makes it that much more intense. You know what they say, red makes you go faster, hit harder, and last longer in bed, or something like that. Matthias JJK going for those grunts, going for those construction bots, going to be getting these metal extractors up and running very quickly. I love to see it. Contesting control over all this metal is really important. There was a tick here, and I think this tick definitely should have stopped this grave robber. This is going to be able to capture all of this juicy metal that's lying around up here. There used to be way more. There used to be like literally thousands of metal up here. I think it was like 1.2 thousand metal. They've since toned it down because, frankly, it was bizarre that much metal was just lying around up here. It was ridiculous. Looks like this grave robber will wander a bit too far. I'm going to see if Matthias is going to catch it here. It's odd that the grave robber earns the get a unit across the field award. I doubt it was the first unit that got across. I mean, I guess that tick was over there too, so I don't know. A bit of a tie between the blue and the red up there. Down south, I don't see any damage done, so I think it might be, it might still be up for grabs. There's a lot of units kind of holding the front line, a lot of ticks, I should say. Mainly just for vision, right? Those ticks, that's really what they're good for, is getting that vision out so that you kind of know if your lines have been broken or not. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, Motor has gone for a hovercraft lab down here, which is quite interesting. Yeah, so these pawns are deep enough that bots cannot cross them. They're deep enough for naval units, I suppose. Not that I think that's a great idea, because obviously they're going to be constrained to the pawns there. So yeah, I don't think that's exactly what you want to do. Tick here going after this resbot. Oh, we're all watching. Wow, the tick does get the resbot kill. Quite nice. Yeah, those are, I've said it before, but those resbots going down early on in the game is quite expensive. Marty Hat pushing very far forward here. This feels like a really good move. It feels like this is the right play because you can hold on to this, but the problem here is that the further your commander pushes, the longer it takes for your units to reinforce it. So what you actually end up with here is now Matthias is going to be getting units out a lot quicker. Well, should be getting units out a lot quicker. Technically, these players should be producing the same amount of units, right? Because it should be mirrored. There's not a metal point right here. So this should go to the red, this should go to the blue, and then this should be the contest line. So as long as if this metal extractor comes up, I should say, for Matthias, then these players are going to be equally matched. And so the only benefit that Marty Hat gets from being this far forward is the fact that if he's aggressive enough, he can get the reclaim off those bots. At this point, light laser turrets tearing down these pawns. That's unfortunate. Those pawns don't seem like a lot, but when every bot counts, throwing a couple of them away to light laser turrets doesn't really feel like the right move. Matthias not getting the D-gun on this turret for some reason. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe we ran out of energy. No, it looks like we have plenty of energy. Yeah, not sure exactly what happened. But yeah, we definitely need to see more and more units coming out. I'd love to see a switch to grunts here. Aggravators are also pretty good. They're a, are they medium rocket bot? No, they're just a regular rocket bot. But they're very good. They do allow you to siege up on these turrets here. I'd love to see a metal extractor put. Oh no, it is covered by this light laser turret. Underestimating those a little bit. But yeah, I think for now it's gonna be firmly in Marty Hat's advantage. The metal extractor is up, so now we're getting a solid. The blue player is getting a solid extra 3 metal per second here. You can see up to 14 metal per second versus Matthias's 17 metal per second. Actually, they're both kind of around the same metal per second. Yeah, nicely done. Do we not have all our metal extractors in the back here? Oh, looks like we just finished those up at this point. It's going to come down to who can expand their economy properly. What I like to do is build a forward bot lab. Build a bot lab right over here. It's going to produce units a whole lot closer to the front line. It's one way to secure a nice little advantage there. Mango tanking fire in the middle of the map. Mango, our one open skill hero hailing from the land down under, going to be making his debut across the battlefield here. Going up against Janky. Janky, another Australian hero here. Unless that's... No, that actually might not be the Australian flag. Is that... I think that's the Australian flag. Oh, I could be so wrong. I could be making such a fool of myself right now. Well, anyway. Mango is going to have these grunts on the front line to flash down these medium tanks, as well as the commander doing whatever damage it can. Medium tanks pretty strong, though. They are they're sturdy. They're difficult to deal with. At this point, Everest has enough rocket bots out to be really annoying with them, too. Yeah, you can start to chase these commanders, and it's really hard for the commander to engage as long as these are microed properly. Rocket bots are really something else. They can do a lot of damage, and if you control them properly, you keep them in a safe zone, and you just march them very slowly. Yeah, they can do a lot of work. Interesting. So Smiley XO has also gone for the hovercraft plant. It's going to be a full-on hover battle here. That's not really where you want your line. It'd be much better to have your line right here. So, something like that. Oh, the hero tick. Hold on a minute, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a hero in the building. What a Chad. What an absolute hero. Remember that a tick only costs 17 metal, whereas a metal extractor costs 50. So a tick killing a metal extractor, even, you know, regardless of the amount of eco that it's denying per second here, it is still a phenomenal trade. Back up north here, those aggravators are putting in the work, blasting down as much as they can. Oh, this is very nice, though. These walls up in front are taking a lot of the shots here, and so this lightning turret is going to stand strong, at least for the time being. Marty Hat in a little bit of trouble, though. Commander goes down. Obviously, this isn't going to work very well. Was it one of these? Wait, which one of these was the turret? Did it go down and I missed it? Oh, it must have been over here. I must have missed it there. I'm so confused. It disappeared. It's confusing even me. But yeah, now you can see, oh, Matthias going for that forward bot lab. I love to see it. Production has slowed down back here because we don't have, well, we only have one build turret. Not a problem if we get another build turret up here. Oh, also missed the commander going down. Sorry about that. But the blue commander does go down. Marty Hat's commander, that is, goes down, and that's going to leave a huge gap in the armor here of the blue team. There's just not enough volume of units coming out at this point. What are we so stalled on that we don't have units right now? I guess it's energy production. Yeah, it's just energy production. We should definitely see more windmills coming up here. Some of these constructors should just be building massive windmill farms. Just really spam this area full of them. And you're going to be in a great position. Just like Matthias is. You can see over here, doing that exact thing. Starting up wind farms. We even have a constructor turret dedicated to building wind turbines, and I think that's a great idea. Already up to around 1,000 energy per second. It's going to mean that these units are going to be able to stream out in much greater volume. Now with the second bot lab up, and we can't even spend our metal quick enough, things are looking real good for our red hero up north. This is odd. This usually is a very hotly contested area, but because the hovercraft nature of the engagement here, both players are kind of wary to push in there, and it's kind of a shame. I think if you took these metal extractors... Whoa, I forgot that drawing underwater is a little odd. There we go. That's a little better. I think you could solidly claim both of those metal extractors with no contest. Both of these players could, I mean. And in fact, it looks like Motor is thinking about the same thing. Hovercraft tanks are a little underwhelming. They're like a tank, but they hover. You imagine what would happen if you strapped 4,000 PC fans to the bottom of a walking Gauss projector, and you end up with something like the hovercraft tank. One of them will go down for each team, just going to show how underwhelming those hovercraft tanks really are. Eesh. Yeah, they're kind of sad with how bad they are. So what we need to see here is continuing to push forward, claim this metal extractor, claim this metal extractor. That's an extra 6 metal per second, which is nearly a third of your economy at the moment here, Mr. Matthias. Also keep producing units. I would love to see grunts coming out on repeat here. One of the beautiful things that Cortex can do is just set a single lab to continue producing grunts on repeat, and it basically costs nothing. Like, it's so little, it drains so little on the economy, but it provides such a volume of units that, whoa, excuse me, sorry. Recording this just after the live stream, so I guess my throat is a little bit sore. I do apologize. I was saying that I think with the way that the Cortex economy is balanced, you can continue to produce grunts with very little detriment to your own economy, and it's one of the ways that you can continue to swarm your enemy without costing yourself too much, and usually it's a cost-effective trade, I guess is all I'm trying to say. I took the long way around to say that, but there we go. Sir Sir Marcellus, I think is actually how that's supposed to be said. Retreating off the front lines because that commander is really badly hurt. Resbot's eating up this massive wreckage field, and that is critical to keeping the green team in the game here. Otherwise, they are going to fall very short on resources, and things can get real bad. Not enough build power back here for a vehicle lab. I think I'd like to see twice as much build power. Yeah, at least 6 constructors to pump out units at a full clip. I think I'd like to see that a whole lot more. The hover tank army is depleted for some reason. Did we try and push through with it or something? Is it just held in reserve somewhere and I can't see it? We only have 2 of these mongrels? Oh, there they are. Our heroes returning from battle. Looks like they were trying to apply a little bit of pressure up north. I think that's a good idea. In fact, I think the entire green team, the entire blue team is having issues mainly because of the fact that they are so far back. It doesn't seem like it, but an extra 6 metal per second here for Janky is going to come in tremendously useful. That's almost the same as a T2 metal extractor. So capturing that middle point is very valuable. Not to mention all this reclaim laying around on the field. I think Mango would do well to start eating it all up. Hard to blame them. They might be brand new to this game. Never sure. 1 true skill is very difficult to achieve. I don't know how you actually get 1 true skill. I don't think you start there. So I think you have to earn 1 true skill. You have to really fight for it. You can see the resource difference here is now Marty Hat is on 12, 11, more or less metal per second, whereas Matthias is solidly up to 20, 21, more or less. Very minor difference, it seems like, but it really adds up quick. It's almost double at the end of the day. Very valuable. Somebody sent me an email. Oh boy. By the way, I should mention, if you have recently submitted a replay to me, and you'd like to see it featured, you might consider resubmitting it. I did accidentally delete a whole bunch of replays that I haven't covered yet, and I do apologize if yours was among that mix. The Gmail storage was getting full, and so I tried to clear out a bunch of them, and I think I might have accidentally cleared a bunch of replays that I hadn't yet seen. So if you're curious why your replay hasn't been viewed, feel free to resubmit it. I accept replays at Brightworks replays at gmail.com. You can submit them there, or you can also join our Discord, which I'll have a link to down in the comments section, and you can just put the replay link to the replay on the bar website in the Brightworks official replay submission channel, and I'll get to it then. Anyways, enough of that. Dark Fury is teching up in the backline here. We have 2 fusion reactors up. We're going into some of those advanced energy converters here. I think that's probably a fair trade, usually, or a fair plan here. This is a build that I actually tend to like. Go for 2 fusion reactors up to 4 advanced energy converters, and then you go into an advanced fusion reactor, and you eat up the regular fusion reactors to get that advanced fusion reactor. Usually you can basically afford half of an advanced fusion reactor, and then you eat up one of the regular fusion reactors to finish it off. Usually works out pretty well. Wow, we even have a transport here to transport our T2 constructor around. Looks like the T2 lab went up on top of the mountain here. going to be upgrading these very valuable metal extractors to T2 is a great idea here for Matthias. If you've won this top lane, like Matthias has here, you are essentially guaranteed that your economic advantage is going to be such that you can apply pressure to the person down below. So the timer is ticking, but it's ticking very slowly. And as long as this player down here doesn't go super eco-greed, you're not really going to be in that bad of a position. So one thing that I might recommend is always sending scouts down here to continue to probe the defensive line and just make sure that they're not skimping on units, because right now tons of metal has gone into an army right here. You can see that's a solid 3,300 metal that went into this T1 army. If this had been eaten up and turned into, I don't know, a bunch of T2 tech and had gone for eco, it's possible that they could have ecoed equivalently to what's going on back here. Not nearly as quickly, but they could have ecoed to a point where they could have maintained an efficient army. Anyways, a bunch of medium tanks are rolling through. Stouts versus brutes. They're basically comparable. You can kind of think of them as the same thing. Are brutes a little bit cheaper? I think brutes might be a little bit cheaper here. 225 for a stout. A brute is going to cost 235. The brutes are actually a little more expensive. But yeah, they're more or less comparable, so you don't have to do too much mental math. Just understand that more or less those are going to trade fairly evenly. You need a basically 1-to-1 volume in order to deal with them. Great engagement here. Look at these pawns sweeping across here. You can see the importance of organizing your army in a specific pattern. Those were there. It was like I don't know how many pawns were there. It was like 15 versus 10, but you can see because of the engagement that these guys took, they swept through all of those pawns right there, taking very minor casualties, and in the end, it was a great trade. Just goes to show you exactly how important that is. That's all I'm saying. T2 constructor was built, but it's going to take ages to get up to this mountain. We really need a transport, otherwise this is useless. Yeah, that is unfortunate. No air player, actually, now that I am taking a quick look-see around the map. Water power is 22 titles, so this is actually a great idea, building a whole bunch of these title generators. I'd love to see TO10 45 here just doing one of these and just building as many of these as possible. Basically fill this lake with title generators. I think that's probably the right move. Hovercraft back and forth here. A bunch of the blue players' hovercraft, the sky blue player motor, is trying to dissuade the orange army from coming south as a bunch of these green tanks are rolling forward. A bunch of damage was done over here, it would seem, as these metal extractors have gone down. That's nice to see. Taking down those metal extractors is always nice, denying economy from the enemy team. Units are marching forward though, and it's Sheldon. We know how annoying those Sheldon can be. Are these just dumbfiring at the moment? I think they very well might be. The lightning towers are discovered, but they will not live for very long. Sheldon actually outranging the gauntlet here. Range of 1220 versus the Sheldon's range of 850. Oh, okay, so they don't outrange it, but the radar, I guess, can't see them over here. Or there's a jammer bot. No, there's a jammer bot. That makes sense. Jammer bot keeping everybody safe. Out of the line of fire. Ooh, and there goes another lightning turret. And with that, this passageway is going to start opening up here. We just need to see these start dumbfiring. Just hit A, and then you right-click and drag, and you're going to have these start firing all over the place over there. I think that's all it's going to take. Bunch of aggression down south here. The clock is ticking. We're getting to that crucial point where the red army needs to march forward. Otherwise, this is going to get bad real quick. I do like the inclusion of this rest bot here to heal everybody up. That's quite nice. The walls are falling. The blue player is running out of time. Another gauntlet was built here. That is nice. What can we see is the question. Not very much, actually. Yeah. Not very much at all. Carving a path through here is difficult, but it should definitely not take this long. We probably could have done that a lot quicker. The blue army is made up of a whole lot of these rocket craft, which obviously are not going to be phenomenal against tanks. They're great against stationary units, but you can see when they fire up in the air, yeah, they take out those light laser turrets really easily, but they don't take out a moving target very nicely. A lot of drawing right here by purple. We can see with our superior metal vision that 4.2 thousand metal has gone down in the middle of the map. Meanwhile, green is pushing forward with a bunch of these sniper bots, although they're disorganized and so they are not, probably not firing at their maximum potential. Eating up that wreckage field right here would also be really nice for Big Red Jeff. But I want to keep watching up north here. Thugs are moving forward. The bay has been destroyed. The laboratory has been destroyed. The Sheldons are now free to begin sieging everything, and the thugs are going to provide plenty of vision here. The Sheldon, again, are damage over time, so you really need to make sure that you get as much value out of them as possible. So we should probably back them up here. We don't really want to march them into all of this. Ooh, what a meat grinder. Yikes. Yikes. That hurts. That hurts pretty bad. That was a very expensive T2 army to lose to a bunch of Centurion. When realistically, we probably could have just backed up and sieged these from a long ways away. Oh, interesting. Okay, I see the plan here. So we're going for termites, and I guess we're going to use these to swarm down the mountain. Yeah, not a bad idea. When termites are moving downhill, or when any all-terrain is moving downhill, they get a significant speed boost. So coming down off the mountain is actually a great option. You can really get some devious effect out of that. Excited to see what those termites get up to, although right now they're a little bit stationary. Matthias hitting a little bit of an APM block. Webbers are out now, and I love these. They don't get the recognition that they deserve. Webbers are hilariously effective. Their little EMP beam doesn't seem like it should do that much, but it really does. It really does. This battlefield is slowly slanting into the blue team's favor down south. The only area that the red team has any significant advantage is up north here. Orange is starting to spread very thinly, and we finally have T2 units on the production docket. But it seems a little bit late for that. Centurion are going to get outclassed here by Sheldon pretty quickly. I mean, unless they jump right on top of them, that is. But yeah, the Sheldon are very good against those Centurion. Oh, are we going to find the cloaked radar jammer? Doesn't look like it. Oh, there we go. We did see it for just a second. The rocket bots did fire. Ooh, will it kill it? It will. Very nice. Okay. It's an odd side effect of those is the fact that you can, well, they persist for a while, right? The termites have been given their command, and so they are going to start heading into the main production center here of Big Red Jeff. Big Red Jeff, absolutely clueless. No idea what's going on here. Is there a... Oh, look at that poor fool. Somehow a grunt got stuck over on that side of the map. Poor bastard. Termites will be spotted here for the first time as they engage their heat lasers, pointing, I think it's a heat laser anyway, yeah, heat ray, in order to start firing at the blue menace. Nicely done. What do these cost? 700 for a termite. Yeah, that's pretty expensive, actually. A little more expensive than I thought. I figured they would be about 500. Those heat rays are nothing to laugh at, though. Melting away this base, as it were. And the beamer doing its very best. Melting away precious percentages of the health, but not enough to save Big Red Jeff, who is now suddenly down to 0 unit production. I'd love to see a T1 bot lab starting up on the front line so we can at least continue pressure. Lightning tanks are out now, and they're going to have a field day ripping through this T1. Those lightning blasts. Pew, pew, pew. Doesn't take much for them to completely disintegrate them. Hounds are out now. And by the way, you might have noticed that a lot of the logos have changed, oddly enough. Not sure what that's about. There was a sneaky update I wasn't even consulted on. Can't believe it. Big run by of a bunch of these rocket launchers here. Tons of light laser turrets going down. Well, that little rocket bot never stood a chance. The termites are continuing, though. They were not stopped, can't stop, won't stop, and they're going to continue blasting away in the back line here. Ando 67 in a little bit of trouble. One of our Joes, not one of the pros, and realizes termites are now in the base, taking a beating from these heat ray blasts. Down to 10%, 4%, 1%, and goes down. The commander is completely ravaged. We're actually building termites of our own, so that's interesting. Termite versus termite battle. Quite interesting. Yeah, blast each other. What a satisfying laser blast these have, huh? Very satisfying. T2 lab does go down, and that hurts. That hurts bad. That's a lot of production that has just been shut just completely off. Just no more production whatsoever. A nuke launcher goes up. Oh, we are feeling spicy today, huh, Matthias? Getting ready to end this game in one magnificent explosion. Tons of eco right here, actually. Didn't notice this, but it looks like Mango has ecoed up quite nicely. I have a feeling that Mango might not be brand new to this game. Based on the amount of units that they're producing, at the very least, they're familiar with this genre. That was interesting. I wonder what happened there. Self-destructing the transport plane. Oh, a long-range plasma cannon. Wow, that can just shell away. Oh my goodness. Look at the distance on that shot. It went all the way from the top of the map all the way down to the bottom. The effective range on this is insane. Look at this. That is nuts. Being able to rain down fire of that caliber from it or to anywhere on the map is just bizarre. Wow, that is beyond all reason right there. Now this is beyond all reason. Targeting everything back here. It looks like there was a glimpse of the eco back here, so at the very least, Matthias is going to be well aware of what to target. Termites are out. Looks like yeah. Oh, the nuke is stalled at the moment. Going to be going for some anti-nukes. Actually, was there a nuke around? Did we spy one for the blue team? Oh, there is. Look at this. TO-1045 does have a nuke. I must have missed where he placed it down because there's a ton of experience on it. It must have hit hard. Anti-nuke is up, but it's a little too late. Yeah, if a nuke landed up there, it'd be bad looks. Actually, everyone is extremely vulnerable to nuking right now. No effective anti-nukes anywhere on the map at the moment. The nuke location has been selected. And we're going to eliminate Yellow's production facility. This is an Armada nuke, so it's a little bit smaller, a little bit more tactical. Charges a little bit faster, though, which is always nice. Pitbull here doing its very best to clean up some of these fiends. One of the few units that it's exceptionally good against. I still can't get over this cannon up here that is so cool. What other game has long-range plasma cannon? Sorry, I missed the nuke. I was just fanboying over the cannon. What other game has such cool long-range artillery like this? It is just so cool. Pinpointers are up, and that's absolutely necessary. The fact that we have a artillery cannon that can hit half the map makes those pinpointers pretty valuable. Interestingly, Marty Hat did go for a T1 air lab, which could do some good work. Yeah, there's not a lot of anti-air up here. That is an advanced geothermal plant. You get enough Banshees on this area could go up in smoke. That is the critical radius right there of the advanced geothermal plant, and you can see that basically everything is within critical range of this. This Banshee maneuver might actually be a really cool play. We're up to 19 right now. I think a little bit more and we'll be good. Stalling on energy at the moment. I'd love to see some advanced solar panels going up. Since there's all this juicy metal lying within reach right here, we might as well just heat it all up and turn it into advanced solar panels, or God forbid, even a fusion reactor if we need to. What is the move here? There's tons of frontline units here for our green player Whitehead B, hailing from England, it appears. Already up to a advanced fusion reactor. We also have a T2 bot lab pumping out a bunch of those snipers. We have some Archangels as well in the mix. There they are. Those chunky lads marching on through the battlefield. Always lovely to see. Let's get some atmospheric shots, shall we? Look at the bulls rolling through with the Marauders. That's the sniper fire for you. Melting away everything here with a couple of volleys. Pew, 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 pew. And there they all go. Man, snipers are so dangerous. Luckily, the bulls have enough armor to push somewhat into this, but even so, I mean, so much metal, and bulls just went down there. The snipers have definitely hit critical mass at this point, and we're having a damn hard time pushing into those for sure. Marauders melting away, Bulls melting away. There's nothing that you can do about this with heavy units. You need some tech spam. Sending in light disposable units is the only way you're going to effectively deal with that many snipers, because you have to burn down more of their shots than you have expensive units moving in. You can see the Starlights, the Bulls, everything is just evaporating as the second it comes within contact. So much metal has been wasted here. So much metal. I did notice Matthias sent out some scout planes. We have the nuke charged and we're ready to fire. Do we have a target selected? I didn't see one. But there are plenty of valid targets, this being one of them, the purple main command center. But also, we could just eliminate blue, and yep, that looks like what exactly we were going to be going for. With this nuke plop down right here, yep, that's all of the blue production going to be wiped away here, shy of maybe a single metal extractor and a couple of res bots here on the front line, piecing together whatever they can. Whoa, sorry about that. The nuke is up. And the nuke comes down. Total annihilation. That burns. That burns pretty bad. If you're the blue player, you're feeling pretty bad right now, because that is a devastating hit to your economy. Snipers now dismantling a whole lot of this T1 wherever they can. Not terrible, but you know, also not perfect. The ticks are finally streaming out of Yellow's base here. Looks like we do have, in fact, a single lab producing a bunch of these ticks, and it's necessary, because if you're not producing these ticks, then the sniper's going to have free reign to shoot at your more expensive units, your units you care a little bit more about. Snipers are funny, because as soon as they uncloak themselves, they all fire at each other, so it's like, who fired first, right? Whichever sniper you can trick into firing is going to die next. This is a lot of maces, though, that have pushed forward. Meanwhile, termites from Matthias have swept through once more and are going to continue causing damage. But it's about an even trade here, as these thugs do get within range of the anti-nuke. Uh-oh. Suddenly, Coalman Trebor is in a lot of trouble. We have the nuke. We have the exposed base. Not that it's necessary to nuke this base, because, well, with this being exposed, suddenly, you know, you already have units back here. You don't need to do much more. Bombers being used on snipers. Interesting. Hadn't considered that, but it is a valid proposition here. Nice little explosion goes off, and that is going to be all of Coalman Trevor's main facilities going down. Termites have officially swept through here. There are only... Whoa, camera is giving me a little bit of a hard time here. There are only res bots for our blue player, our blue hero. Looks like Coalman will tap out of the game. Cannot blame him. Wow, that's a lot of hounds. That is a dangerous amount of hounds. Yeah, you can do some real work with those bad boys. That's for sure. Oh, this Tsar is going to get such a beautiful hit. I can just feel it. Oh, come on now. Target the clump of units. No. Oh, the poor Tsar. Just imagine what that could have done had it targeted the biggest clump of units there and just scuffed up all of these guys. Could have shaved off a good 50% of their health. Would have been beautiful. Termites will finally, eventually take care of the remaining units from Marty Hat, which is nice to see. Do what you can, right? Marty Hat has done well to stay in this game as long as possible, but things are looking pretty dire at this point. Matthias feels a little uncertain at this point. We have a commando. We have a commando and a transport at the moment. Interesting to see. The blue team is clearly more confident about pushing through the northern section, or through the middle of the section. Nice gun, report motor for trolling. Uh-oh, somebody trolling? I didn't see it. Motor is the light blue player, I'm not sure. Oh, counter termite push here. Little bit of a counter offensive by Ando67. Very nicely done, moving these termites up here. Yeah, get the advanced fusion reactor, or the advanced geothermal rather. Oh no, we're targeting the wrong thing. Target the geo. Should also probably move some of those termites out of the way, but that's fine. Oh, the T3 lab does come up in the nick of time. Well, with all those termites gone, there's now little to do. Meanwhile, Matthias termites are sweeping through. There's action all over the place. There's an extended front line over here, but it looks like for now it's going to be held. Yeah, there's probably enough units. That is just extreme of grunts. So these Jaguars, the lightning tanks, as well as the bulls and the welders, all that for now are probably going to be enough to hold on. We also have a commando drop over here, and it's going to be building a flame turret, interestingly. I would have expected a landmine. Although it doesn't show it here, you can still hit C and then select the landmine. But the turret will do just fine as well. Anti-nuke is down. Ando is very exposed at the moment. Nuke launcher didn't die. Let's see it, Matthias. Let's see the plays. Termites sweeping down from the high heavens and continuing to rain down terror from above. This commando brought back from the grave only to die twice, as it will explode in a fiery wreckage, bringing down large portions of that base. The anti-nuke was sniped. I'm not sure what we're going to do here. Commando is going to move into this base. We're going to try and snipe both anti-nukes. It's greedy, but if it works, it could work. Oh, Marauders were not noticed, as now they are pushing the southern side. Oh, it's actually a complete trade. All right, look at this. So we have purple Marauders going in this way, and we have pink Marauders moving in this way. It's a complete trade right now. There's so much action everywhere. It looks like that commando was able to snipe, well, at the very least, a whole bunch of these windmills, but not much else. Marauders are, well, they're swimming away. These Marauders don't have an answer. There's a catapult. Interesting. Catapult is risky for base defense. They're not a precision weapon, as you might say. They're very, very prone to destroying friendly structures, friendly units, all sorts of friendly stuff. Commander, rather, could do a little bit of work here. Oh, these Marauders are getting into the vulnerabilities, though. Yeah, they found the energy converters. Oh, and there goes everything. Advanced fusion reactors as well. Commander goes down. Everything but the T3 lab. And a massive explosion. What a back and forth. Oh my god. Meanwhile, the pink Marauders are continuing to march forward, or they should continue to march forward, I should say, as they don't. They stop short, and unfortunately for the pink team, they will not be able to get nearly as much damage done with them. However, the bombers are out, and they're not doing their job. Well, that is depressing. That is really depressing. That could have been a bombing run to end the game here, to end the purple player's game anyways. Oh, we might still get it. Still no anti-air, so yep, okay, well, we will still get it. A perfect base trade between the purple and the brown player here. What a back and forth. Oh my god, I can't even keep up with all the action here. Karganeth are now coming out of the T3 facility. We have tons and tons and tons of... what are these called again? Twitchers, that's right. I almost said freakers, that's their old name. Nuke is launched because why not? Anti-nuke does come up. Luckily, there was a portable anti-nuke in the middle of the map. The Savior mobile anti-nuke vehicle for the Cortex faction comes out of that T2 vehicle bay. Meanwhile, Shiva, happy to shoot at their own toes, as now these welders get on top of them. Fiends are going to try and clean up some of those welders as well. They spurt a devilish amount of fire out of their long tongues. Wow. What a brutal, brutal game. Arbiter is now continuing to rain down hellfire wherever they can. Those long-range rockets, they do tons of damage. Hard to gauge this one. This is such a back and forth. Tons of, I mean, just everything have gone down. Bases have been traded out. Units have died. T3 has been extended and overextended and underextended all over the map here. Karganeth trying to clean up some of these termites that are pushing up into the northern reaches of the mountain. The termites still trying to be aggressive and do some damage up here. They know that they sniped that advanced geothermal, but there's units still streaming out, so somehow this base didn't all go down. Twitchers are going to have to retreat, and the lone Karganeth, to find them and in the darkness bind them, is going to hold on. There we go. The Twitchers are finally starting to help this T3 lab, and I think that's exactly what we should be doing. It's a lot of build power we have here. Each of these Twitchers contributing a 125 build power surplus to that laboratory. I think that's exactly where we want to be. Oh, at this point, Sir Marcellus is in a little bit of trouble. That's a lot of lightning tanks. Certainly enough to blast down this commander. Blast down this commander. Certainly enough to blast down this commander. There we go, the commander does go down. Lightning tanks, of course, don't care about shield generators. These are plasma deflectors, not lightning deflectors. They do not care about the Hand of Zeus. They only care about compressed matter rounds. Like I said, catapults, not great for base defense. They do not care about friendly fire. They will eagerly friendly fire, in fact. A couple of sneaky marauders have made their way around the back, too. Don't think I didn't notice you. I'm surprised for now that Marty Hat is still in the game. Apparently a constructor was resurrected by some of these Lazarus. And yeah, very nicely done by Marty for sticking around in this match against all odds. Another nuke was launched, didn't see where it was targeted, but we can watch it go down, rising up into the sky and coming down. Right into the water. Right into the water. Marauders trying to be sneaky beaky over here. There are plasma deflectors though, and it will spare these energy converters from the Marauder's wrath. Oh, not if they get close enough though. Nicely done. Moving the Marauder close enough does allow it to still slip a shot or two through. And so at least a bunch of energy converters will go down for Whitehead B. Shuts off a lot of metal production. As you can see, Whitehead B down to 53 metal production at this point, where Matthias is up to 160, 70, something like that. There's a lot of termites still hanging out on this mountain. I don't think I've ever seen a T3 facility up on this mountain, but I think it's a great idea. Yeah, you get those amphibious units and you might as well use them, right? Oh man, vanguards would be so dangerous. Can you imagine putting vanguards all over this mountain and they're just raining down those ultra high power shots like crazy? Oh, that'd be crazy. Bounty Bars has a strict opinion about the Juggernaut. Let's get a commander up there. I think that's probably the most reasonable way to handle that. 6 Razorback, 5 Razorback might be able to handle Juggernaut actually. I hadn't thought about it, but that is a fair response, I think. Yeah, I'm trying to do the mental math, and I think 5 Razorbacks, if they get a perfect surround on the Juggernaut, they should be able to do quite a lot of damage. The Tick's trying to be annoying here. Doing a good job. Yeah, okay. I always underestimate the Razorback, but I certainly shouldn't. This thing is powerful. What a beast. Carving down this Juggernaut with ruthless efficiency. And there goes that Juggernaut in a flash. Yeah. Nicely done. Now what we do is we get Resbots and we pick that Juggernaut back up off the ground. Once we do that, this game is secured. Termites are trying to move forward, realizing that now there are their big brothers, the Karganeth, protecting this mountain, going to be keeping it safe. And I think it's time we move the Karganeth down. I don't see a reason why we don't storm the beaches with them. At least for now, those Karganeth are going to be very valuable. Somehow an advanced fusion reactor survived back here for Toten. I have a suspicion that that probably didn't belong to them originally, but they might have taken it over from a player that left it behind when they went to their watery grave. Sprinter's running past now. A little bit of aggression coming out of the green player, and I actually really like it. The southern side, the southern team here, has been forced into a situation where they're going to have to rebuild for quite a while. So both the brown player and the tan player have just been trying to build back their economies as well as they can, and for what it's worth, they've done a decent job. However, it's not nearly enough to hold up against a proper T2 economy. The question is whether green will go the right direction here. That is a lot of Archangels and Jammer bots and Radar bots. I think I'd like to see these a little better dispersed, move them back a little ways. But I can't complain too hard. It's nice that we have them there in the first place, especially considering we have Nuki Bees out on the field. And those are certainly worth shooting down. Very dangerous. Whoa! Getting real crazy in here. Those Nuki Bees are very dangerous, but also, especially so if you clump up your units like this. This is the nuclear bomber attack radius, and you can see that it would take 1 or 2 bombs to kill this entire composition right here. 1 bomb to take out all the Archangels, another to take out all the snipers, and suddenly Green's entire army has been melted away. The Karganeth are finally streaming forward, as well as some Shiva to apply a little bit of siege danger. This will be the end for the blue player, I am almost certain. Marty Hat was making the only move that they could, trying to eco up as greedily as possible. It didn't pay off in the end, but it was really the only decision that was left because otherwise there was no other way to contribute anything worthwhile to this front line. Indeed, the Shiva will sweep through here with brutal ease, and they won't face much opposition. Meanwhile, the Karganeth are sweeping down. Again, these are plasma deflector shields, so Karganeth missiles, they do not care. They will sweep right through, not a care in the world. Looks like a Juggernaut went down over here to a Thor and some Razorbacks and probably a whole bunch of Ticks, if I had to guess. Meanwhile, the Green Army is continuing to maneuver. Making big plays here, that's a lot of hovercraft, but I don't think it'll be enough to overcome those snipers, but this is really where the game is decided. Karganeth could sweep through here with ease. There are some Juggernauts out, so they can contribute a little bit here, but the Karganeth are now shutting down even that production, so things are starting to melt away. Taking down some of these windmills, mostly just to clear the path, and now the Karganeth are going to get to work on what really matters, the backline economy. These two here are working on a fusion reactor, just, you know, starting late, don't want to overwhelm themselves with a full buffet before they get into the main course, which is, of course, the fusion reactors, the advanced fusion reactors. These other Karganeth as well are going to be walking around this side. They're going to take out Whitehead B's commander, and that'll be that commander going down for sure. That's not really much coming back from that, with the advanced fusion reactors going up, chain reacting over to the green fusion reactors as well. There's very little left in the way of economy for the Blue Menace. Despite their tremendous map presence, they don't have what it takes in order to finish out this game. There's just not enough eco on the field. I think they realize that and decide that it's time to tap out. What a banger of a game. Absolutely back and forth the entire time. I cannot wait to get this one uploaded because, wow, I'm sure you can agree that this was a lovely game. Sure hope you'll consider liking and subscribing if you agree with me. Always helps. And wow, we've already surpassed 2.1 thousand subscribers. Who knew that this would ever get this big? I'm super happy, super thrilled, and I hope you are as well. Thanks a ton for watching, and I will see you in the next video.